this is Jason, your fitness captain again. Can you tell I'm confident? And I'm just trying to inspire your passion, of course, to work out.
Hello everyone, this is Jason Fitness Captain Workouts Boxing, baby. That's right, normally I'd be in a tank top or short sleeve shirt. I hope it's not insecurity, but I am a little apprehensive. Next time I'll be even less clothes, hopefully hitting the punching bag. I've been injured for over 7 months largely, my friends, but we're coming back, we're healing. But today's video, I want to discuss May 23rd, what happened? Oleskandr Usyk, the amazing Ukrainian and world heavyweight champion, former cruiserweight champion. He's got so many belts, I don't even know if he knows what to do with them. It's amazing, all the belts he carries on his shoulder. And it's awesome and amazing that he just keeps winning. This guy pulls it out. I mean, he is unbelievable. What a career. What an amazing amateur career as well. We could talk for hours on the amazing, fantastic pugilist that Oleskandr Usyk is. An amazing humanitarian, from what I understand. I love the Ukrainian people, by and large. And Oleskandr Usyk represents his people like nobody else. He is just absolutely awesome. A family man. After the fight, of course, he gave so much love to his wife. He gave, praise and love to his trainers, his handlers, people that help him in training camps and, in his career, etc., and other people too. And of course, his Ukrainian people. He gave a shout out, saying that they're living in shelters, and then, praising God and wanting God to protect them, of course, and everybody. So Oleskandr Usyk is a very special human being, everybody. Very special human being, special man, and a special fighter. And he will go down, I'm sure, as one of the best ever to do it. No doubt about it. And who did he fight on May 23rd? You guys are probably wondering, well, who's the other fighter you're going to mention, Jason? Because, Usyk just fought. Who did he fight? Rico Verhoven. I hope I'm pronouncing Rico's last name correctly. If I butchered it, I apologize, Rico, and to all you Rico fans. So Rico, the former world, or still probably world kickboxing champion, he wanted to go into the foray, is that the right word? Anyway, he wanted to step into the boxing arena, pure boxing, folks. This is only, I believe, his second professional boxing fight. Now, I do have some issues with that. A lot of people do. I love Rico Verhoven. He's a great person by and large as well. Seems very modest and humble, much like Usyk in some respects there. And yet Rico, like Usyk, is a savage in the ring. And he's very intelligent. Both fighters are super intelligent. And they're both beasts. And of course, Rico is huge, right? 6'5". I think he was listed, at least 255 pounds, probably coming in the fight. He had a huge size advantage over Usyk, but Usyk's used to this, right? Most heavyweights do have a huge weight advantage over Usyk, because Usyk, came from, after all, the cruiserweight division. But of course, Usyk's known for his amazing hand speed. I mean, he's so fluid with his punches. And as much as Rico is trained for boxing, particularly for this upcoming fight, pure boxing, Rico does not have the fluidity or hand speed that Usyk has. That's for damn sure. And he wouldn't have quite the ring IQ in terms of boxing. But Rico is known, of course, as an amazing kickboxer. I think he hasn't... You guys, feel free to leave me a comment, folks. When was the last time he was defeated? I think it was, 5 or 10 years ago? He's been on a real roll. And he's had some very tough fights. But both fighters apparently wanted a big money fight. And for that reason, I can't blame them. They knew also this fight would be global. There'd be a lot of demand for it. People would be curious how Rico does, in his first or second boxing fight ever, right? And against the great Usyk. But here's my qualms, folks. And you tell me if I'm right or wrong. I've watched boxing. I've watched the Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard fight. Remember that big super fight as well back in the day, many years ago now. God rest the great middleweight champion, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Rest his soul. He's no longer with us, folks. He died too young in his mid to late 60s, right? But I believe the Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard fight was fixed. It absolutely was. They were pulling their punches. I learned this also from a former professional fighter, and he's an older man, and he believed that as well. Was this fight fixed, my friends? I think in quite a lot of respect it was. It's no different in some respects than, or similar to, the Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight. You know, there was a friend of mine, I used to work for these people a long time ago. Anyway, a friend of mine was in the dressing room. Or sorry, he wasn't a friend of mine. It was a friend of a friend. And this friend of mine said his friend was in the dressing room during Conor and Floyd Mayweather Jr. before their actual fight in the ring. And it was all being fixed, folks. So, because there's so much money in some of these super fights, a lot on the line, and sometimes they're fixed. Nobody, as far as I know yet, has talked about, was this fight fixed? I mean, think about it, everybody. Reason, logic, common sense. And I'm not knocking the fighters completely here, but, you know, there's questions to be asked here. Did they have an agreement going into this fight? And the agreement obviously would be, they're not going to have, in my opinion, they're not going to have Rico. They're not going to risk having Rico knock out, even if Rico got lucky. They're not going to want Usyk, the powers that be, they're not going to want Usyk to be knocked out. It would be totally detrimental, wouldn't it, for boxing, folks? People have talked about this, right? You can't have Usyk lose to Rico in his only second boxing fight, as great as a world champion kickboxer as Rico is. He's not a boxer per se. So there had to be something, I think, in play here, folks. And I think we saw it largely play out. They didn't always pull their punches, but I think at times they did. And I think it was set up, maybe, that Usyk was going to carry Rico, just like Floyd Mayweather Jr. did, I'm sure, with Conor McGregor, right? Carry it to the late rounds, make an entertaining fight. You heard what Usyk said at the end of the fight. He said it was a great fight. He knew they did very well at entertaining the crowd. They did throw some hard punches. You know, of course, Rico tried to use his weight, you know, a little bit of wrestling there, leaning on Usyk, but great punches thrown by both fighters largely at times. Real entertaining fight overall. But I think Usyk clearly carried Rico to a certain extent in those later rounds. At least I think so. And I think it was designed potentially for Usyk to lay some damage. Rico knew he would take some hard blows near the end of the fight. And that ultimately they did want maybe the ref to come in and stop it a little bit early. Was it all orchestrated largely, my friends? And did Rico and Usyk sort of pull that off? Right? And then you get all the titles, controversial stoppage for Rico, of Rico, right? Was the fight stopped too early? Was this orchestrated theater to a degree, my friends? Nobody's questioning that. Nobody's talking about that. And I think boxing experts, probably a lot of them are thinking the same thing that I am. Maybe, anyway. So I'm just putting it out there, folks. And this is not to knock the two fighters at all. Okay, even if it was somewhat fixed. Because again, they did an awesome job. It was an entertaining fight. They've earned the right to put an entertaining fight on. They're just, nobody's saying apparently that maybe there was a bit of a fix here, And of course, we're glad that both fighters are safe. Nothing, no harm, no injuries, no turned over ankles. It all worked out, folks. And they get their massive payday. They get to share the money with their family, whoever they want to share with, and their trainers. And not that, obviously they're both very wealthy, I'm sure, right now. But now they're even wealthier before this, or they were wealthy before the fight. Now they're even wealthier, right? And of course, I think it was the fight was taking place in Egypt, wasn't it, folks? So anyway, anything I get wrong in my comments, folks, please feel free to leave me a comment. We can agree to disagree and or things you agree with. This is Jason Fitness, Captain Workouts Boxing. I am eventually hoping to get an editor to edit and start a new boxing channel. Either a whole new channel or right here on this channel, folks. All for you. Okay, check it out. And eventually, hopefully, we'll get some videos editing where I'm hitting the punching bag as part of the intro, some cool music. I apologize that when I put this video, there may not be a proper intro. We'll see. But hopefully you enjoy this content a little bit, folks, at least. And thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Jason, also known again as Jason Fitness Captain Workouts. So I got several channels, but I'm excited about starting to do more boxing videos and giving my analysis. And these are my analysis, my opinions, folks. Was this, I'm asking you guys and gals out there, was this fight fixed? You know, did Usyk deliberately sort of carry Rico to the later rounds? And then the commentators, are they not getting paid in part to pump up Rico to make sure, oh, Rico's doing amazing. Look at him. Only in the second fight, he's winning the fight. Well, surely, and even they told you, the commentators, Usyk wasn't even moving, wasn't even using his legs near as much as he usually does. He wasn't even near as busy as he normally is. And the commentators correctly said that, folks. Well, clearly, isn't that by design? Usyk made a decision not to be so busy in that fight until, later when he, wanted to take out Rico there, right? They had to end that fight. So that's my analysis. That's my opinions, folks. Thanks again for being here. Feel free to leave me whatever country you're in as well, folks. And more boxing videos to come. Usyk, again, is still on a roll. I think he's got at least 2 or 3 more super fights in him. It depends on him if he wants to stay in the boxing game. Rico, again, he showed up, did his thing. Hopefully Rico go back to kickboxing. But it was very interesting. His only, second, third boxing fight ever now. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. See ya. Bye.